talk about fragrance. Today I'm going to talk to you about a lovely fragrance. A men's fragrance, a super classic. Make sure it's not dirty. Antaeus Parfum from none other than that well-respected, well-loved house of Chanel. Chanel! Who is it? It's Chanel! Okay. So, Antaeus is one of my husband's fragrances. Ah, yes. Ooh. This is, it sort of has an older man vibe, but I think any age can wear this. I think it in the same way though that like gray flannel is maybe more of a mature man's fragrance, maybe, or rather, it doesn't have to be, you know, any age can wear anything they want to, but this one, this is, I think, you know, I'm not for sure, but I think that, like, you know, I remember when I used to work in fragrances, men's and women's fragrances, a lot of us girls would talk about what we wanted the guy we ended up being with, marrying or whatever, you know, to smell like. And there were a few favorites, and I think that this was one of the favorites, but I don't remember exactly for sure. But I definitely feel that way about it now, because the guy that I married wears it. But yeah, Antaeus, a really nice men's fragrance. I mean, you can't go wrong if you're looking for something, a very classy men's fragrance. Also, too, if you're looking to not send player vibes, this is a good one. It's really sexy, but it's not, you know, I don't even have to tell you. I think you know what I mean. It's not over the top. It's really, really nice. So just a few facts about it, about this wonderful classic men's fragrance. Where is it? Here we go. Okay. The top notes are myrrh, clary sage, coriander, bergamot, and lime. The mid notes are rose, thyme, basil, jasmine, base castoreum. The mid notes are rose, thyme, basil, jasmine. And then the base notes are castoreum, oak moss, and here we go. Patchouli and French labdanum. And then also too, I left out in the mid notes. Sorry, in the top notes, I left out Amalfi lemon is also in the top notes. So yeah, like a nice fresh. It's fresh but warm. Yeah. Okay. It came out in 1981, and Antaeus is a Greek demigod, supposedly strong like a god, but gentle as a man. And I would say that's a really good representation of the way this fragrance smells. It's a capable fragrance. The nose was a gentleman named Jacques Polge, or Jacques Polge. He created many other fragrances, lots of Chanel fragrances, most specifically Chanel Allure, Bleu de Chanel, Chance, Chanel 5 Red Edition, Egoiste. That is a men's fragrance I used to wear. That is, like, I think the only actual men's fragrance that I ever actually liked to wear, Egoiste. Not because I think of myself as an egoist, but yeah, they used to say, it was funny, like they'd be like, what does it mean? Does it mean like you're full of yourself? I think what it translates to is just self-assured, not necessarily, you know, egocentric or egomaniacal or whatever, but it's a really nice fresh fragrance, Egoiste. You should try it if you like fresh fragrances. It's nothing at all like this one, like Antaeus. It's not the same at all, but it's still a really nice men's fragrance. Okay. He also created Tiffany for Men and Diva from Emmanuel Ungaro. Diva. I remember that one, but it's been a long time. I don't think it was ever available anywhere that I worked. It was kind of more, yeah, it wasn't really, but Emmanuel Ungaro, we had a number of his fragrances. I don't remember which ones, but I remember also Emmanuel Ungaro, he's an interesting guy. Like I read one of his autobiographies, but it's really it's kind of out there. If you're looking for something interesting, I don't remember anything about it except that I think I got it at the library. I'm a library, I love the library. And I think I got it at the library and I read it and it was surprisingly out there and I wasn't expecting it. But anyhow, that's a different subject. Okay, so so he also created Diva, Jacques Polge created Diva by Ungaro as well. So all those fragrances, and I just picked it like a few. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna give him a handful because it was like the list and the page was really long. So yeah, let me see. Okay, so here's some things, like if you ever go on Fragrantica, people can write their opinion of things, and I've kind of taken to reading what some of people's opinions are. So here's a couple things. Someone called with the handle Big Long Nose says something a powerful and well-dressed villain would wear. I thought that was pretty cute and accurate. So thank you, Big Long Nose. Something a powerful and well-dressed villain would wear. A nice villain, but a capable villain. A villain who really wasn't a villain. You'd find out at the end he wasn't a villain after all. Okay, moving along. Someone also called Salalome said, it's the sexiest male-targeted fragrance they have ever tried. That's a big, that's a big endorsement. The sexiest male-targeted fragrance they have ever tried. Impressive. So yeah, but now you say, Bo, what does it smell like? Can you tell me something that smells like I might know it? Yes, I can. Here we go. Top 10, what's it smell like? Oh, actually, I've only got 7. I don't know why, but today it's a top 7. All right, starting with number 7. Fendi Uomo with 13 votes. Fendi Uomo, that is a nice men's fragrance. And you know what? It's very similar, but it's more spicy. It was more spicy, and I think it was a little more spicy and a little bit more sweet. But it was a really nice men's fragrance, Fendi Uomo, and I would say it's definitely in the same family. All right, that was 13 votes. All right, next up. Cabochard Grays, I'm sorry, with 16 votes. I don't know that fragrance. I'm surprised that I don't know that fragrance. But Cabochard Gray or Grays. It's probably gray. It probably is the word gray, isn't it? Grays. Okay. So that had 16 votes. And then moving on up the line, we have, okay. Next up, Apex Roja Dove. Roja Dove with 24 votes. I don't know that one either, but a lot of people thought that. All right, moving on up. Next up with 49 votes was Yet Again by Caron. I love some of the Caron fragrances. That's a really good one, actually. I should try to do something on Caron. There was a fragrance that they made called, I think it was called Belogia? Yeah, that's a nice one, Belogia. Hey, time for chair dance! Thank you for joining me on Talk to the Hen Reviews. I hope you're having a good time. I know I am. Okay, here we go. Moving on to, Yet Again from Caron. 49 people thought that smelled like our lovely Antaeus. Then we have it shoots right up to 92 with Van Cleef and Arpels Pour Homme. Van Cleef and Arpels Pour Homme. I don't know that one. I do know Van Cleef and Arpels fragrances because First was one I used to rep, but I don't know this one. All right, that was 92 votes. All right, next up, number 2 on the list is, I know this one really well, Oscar de la Renta Pour Lui. Oscar Pour Lui. My husband told me it means for them because it was one that I represented when I worked for Oscar Fragrances, and it's a really nice men's fragrance. It's absolutely like this, but it's not quite as strong. It's more subdued, but definitely the same family. So I was surprised when I saw that it was one that people really thought. It's really fun looking at, when you go and you look up a fragrance at Fragrantica, you can scroll down and find out what other people thought it smelled like. And I am so amazed at how much I agree with what most people say. So for me, it's really fun. It's discovery and memories too, because like I used to work in the industry long ago. But yeah, so Oscar Pour Lui. Okay, and number 1 is one of my favorite men's fragrances. But my husband because my husband wore. I think my husband had some a while ago, but for some reason I think it might be a little bit too sweet. It's a little too sweet. He's sweet enough. But Koros from YSL with 141 votes. Koros from YSL. A very, very famous men's fragrance. A really nice men's fragrance. Ever so slightly sweeter than I prefer. But yeah, so there you have it. Antaeus from this little house you might have heard of called Chanel. So if you if you know of anything that you think smells like this, or you like this fragrance, or just whatever you want to write, whatever, I appreciate it. And thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.